Feeling ugly? Do animals run away when you smile? Do you look in the mirror and scare yourself? Probably not. The reality is that the percentage of people who are actually ugly,
yeah, and you're ugly,
objectively speaking, is extremely small. Most people who think of themselves as ugly actually skew towards average. You might feel ugly, but chances are you just need a couple little tweaks. Not just on the outside, but on the inside too. Some small changes can make an incredible difference. Look at these people. They went from ashy to classy with just a little effort. In this video, I'm going to set you on the road to do just that. Now, let's be clear. This isn't an instant remedy. Quick cures have a bad reputation, and rightly so. Sometimes progress requires patience. But that doesn't mean you need a 5-year plan for every bit of self-improvement. As the famous Winston Churchill once said, to improve yourself is to change. To be perfect is to change often. Well, the old man was right. Before we get into how to become as attractive as Ryan Gosling, it's worth asking yourself,
it's obvious why.
If you feel improving your attractiveness is even possible. In most cases, when someone doubts this, it's for one of two reasons. Either they have been hurt by rejection of a sexual partner in the past, or frankly, they're being lazy and are afraid of a little hard work. If it's the first, that's understandable. If the game appears to be rigged, you won't want to play again. If you've had difficulty meeting and attracting partners, it'll be challenging to invest in self-improvement. It takes work. Your ego wants to retain the status quo at all costs, while your higher self challenges you to take a chance and get hurt again. Once you accept that it's possible to improve your attractiveness as a life partner, the next step is to take action. And action demands some effort. More effort than sitting around all day eating pizza and playing video games. In most cases anyway. So what are you up against? In a nutshell, you're up against entropy. In life, you are constantly battling entropy. If left neglected, everything in your life will degrade into chaos and failure. This is not to be dramatic, but rather to be realistic. If you don't feed yourself, you'll starve. If you don't move your body, it'll wither away. If you don't add anything to the world and continually drain energy from those around you, it'll eventually make your world very small, limiting, and miserable. With entropy, you're up against the portion of your mind that wants to do absolutely nothing. Ultimately, this apathy is a fear of life. You're scared to take up space, to be your biggest, baddest, most daring self. Because once you have goals, it's possible to fail at them. So it's best just to sit back and let life happen to you, right? Wrong. This is your life, and its end is coming at you day by day. Are you going to become bitter, or will you grow better? As always, the decision is yours. No one is going to show up and make the effort for you. Can you become more attractive to everyone? No, and you wouldn't want to either.
No! No, I'm not! Now you're talking.
While it's undoubtedly possible to become more attractive, the goal shouldn't be to become more attractive to the entire dating scene, but rather to select a niche within that market that fits your vibe. Very few products on the market are suitable for everyone, but many things are very appealing and valuable to a specific part of the market. For example, an iPhone may be useless to someone who lives off the grid, dislikes using energy, and wishes to live in solitude, yet extremely valuable to a 28-year-old graphic designer in San Francisco who operates their own firm. Value is always relative. So if you're ready to put in the effort to become a better version of yourself, let's get started.
Sure.
Good. Let's go.
This video guide will cover the entire process, from the surface work to the deeper inner work. Number 10. Work from the ground up. The notion that your shoes are the first thing people notice about you isn't going away anytime soon.
I wish I had shoes like that.
Fortunately, footwear selections are more diverse than ever, so there's no reason not to wear something stylish. Need some motivation? Look no further than the internet. You can always find shoes to fit your style with a simple Google search. Number 9. Manspread. Yes, really. Manspreading is a word used to describe males who like to take up too much space on public transportation. It's regarded by social media as one of the most horrible crimes of the 21st century. We're not suggesting crushing anyone on the central line with your thighs, but it turns out that space maximization has some advantages, according to research.
This time, I lead. Seriously. If I don't start making decisions, I'm out.
All right, Roman. What do you got?
Guys who take up more space with their bodies by stretching, extending arms, wide-legged stances, or other similar postures are more successful at flirting than men who adopt inward and closed body language. Just don't crash into the bar with your arms like a human air glider.
How you doing?
Number 8. Spruce up your scent. Body odor is nasty is not the kind of brilliant insight we're hoping to give you here, but we can't be sure if you know how much of a benefit smelling great can be. According to a study published earlier this year, your voice and scent, not just your features, are important factors in how attractive people perceive you to be. Number 7. Adapt your language. Speaking of your voice, we should probably talk about the words you use and how you can use them to come off like a modern-day Adonis. Asking many questions and using the word "you" a lot in conversation makes you more appealing to others, and studies have shown that hearing one's name activates the brain. According to Harvard research, when a woman is talking about herself, the part of the brain that's stimulated is the same one as when having sex or eating a nice meal. So be the man who listens rather than talks. Number 6. Stand up straight. Posture is an important aspect of how other people perceive us. Slouch or hunch over, and people might think you're a few evolutionary steps behind the rest of us. If you have back pain, try wrapping tape from the back of your neck to your mid-back and from one shoulder blade to the other. This will restore your posture and remind you to maintain a straight back. Kinesiology tape is especially useful. Number 5. Sort your eyebrows out. Generally, anything on your face requires some care and attention. Some guys are more fortunate than others in this area, but we should all be plucking stubborn hairs and generally controlling what's growing on our faces. Plucking takes time, so ask your barber to trim your brows up when you're in next. Research has found that brows are more important than eyes in facial recognition, giving you even more reason not to discard them. Number 4. Get a good night's sleep. Beauty sleep may seem like a Disney fairy tale concept, but a study has discovered that sleep-deprived persons are seen as more exhausted, less attractive, sadder, and less fit than when they are refreshed. There are no excuses. This one couldn't be simpler to do.
Oh.
Number 3. Invest in an SPF moisturizer. Even if you're living in the darkest, rainiest regions of Northern Europe, where the sun barely shines, you still need to protect your body's largest organ. UV rays get through the cloudiest weather and dry out and damage your precious skin. We suggest adding a little bit of SPF 15 moisturizer to your daily grooming routine. It's basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It'll nourish your skin short-term and protect it from aging when the years start to add up. Number 2. Get the lads out. Being in a group when you want to stand out from the crowd may seem counterproductive, but a study has revealed some truth to the cheerleader effect, which says the human brain prefers to average the attractiveness of faces in a group rather than viewing them as separate subjects. In other words, hanging out with more attractive buddies can be beneficial to you. Give the guys a call.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Number 1. Improve your mind. What exactly does improving your mind mean? It really just means putting in an effort to slow down your thinking, be aware of your thoughts, and accepting responsibility for them. You slow down your thinking by removing as many stressors from your life as possible, and then you engage in some form of mindfulness. At its core, this means being present in whatever you do. Now it's time to take charge of your thinking. People who are hesitant to accept responsibility for their mind will often play the victim. And victimhood is so prevalent in our current culture that it can easily pass unnoticed by people. It can be the man who's worried about his spouse cheating on him, so he demands she adjust her life to accommodate his fears. Or the man who crumbles at the smallest display of hostility in others because his father's rage terrified him when he was a kid. These folks are unwilling to confront and own a particular aspect of their minds, like their insecurity, competitiveness, and anger. So they seek to bend the world to their reality, rather than doing the work on themselves and improving. The best thing you can do for yourself is to work on overcoming your weaknesses.